Check it out, family. Just imagine you checking on your child and you see this come across on the cam. Yeah. And shout out to that baby, the child, because I would have did the same thing too. Skedaddle. I'm not playing no games.
What's good with the collective? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. This is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps let it grow, helps let it get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. I appreciate you if you're watching ETV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all know what it is. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go. Whole world getting.
This is our adoptive son.
I remember that club. Y'all know y'all do too.
I'm at Home Depot right now, and that little girl in the cart right there has been there for a minute. And I'm just standing here watching her, making sure nobody does anything because the mother went inside and left her daughter right there like that. What the? Oh, if that doesn't anger you, oh my god, dude, come on. Dude, that little girl was just sitting there still. Yeah, man. Dude.
Mike Mooney, think that's his name, Mike Mooney 73. Appreciate you doing what you just did, bro. A lot of people wouldn't have done that. Thank you. I thank you. If the parent didn't or nobody else did, I thank you. Because we need more people like this. We need people to step in and somebody help, man. This is what we mean by help. Let's help. Appreciate what he just did. Hats off to him. Respect to him, man. Like, again, some weirdos out here. Somebody could have took that little girl. You know what I mean? Glad he stayed there and made sure. Everybody watching, let's do better as parents. I said no, I didn't say nobody directly. I said less, meaning all of us. Let's do better.
That way? You know, you jump here that way, and I'll just jump. Whoa! Missile! 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 Missile!
Suck that they gotta. They ain't never gonna forget that, bro.
You have a connection to not well, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I was booked on the first flight that hit the tower, and I was drinking the night before. Overslept a little bit in conjunction with the fact that my travel agent screwed up the itinerary by about 15 minutes, and so I arrived 10 minutes late to get on the flight.
Access Hollywood that Michael was supposed to be at a meeting inside the World Trade Center on September 11th, 2001. Now, Jermaine said his brother slept through a number of early morning appointments, and that day was one of them.
I hate the music in the back. Please don't send those, please.
First and foremost, I hope this man is okay. Second and utmost, this is how comic book superhumans are created. This is the origin story on how they get their powers. You know what I'm saying? Now he has purple, lizard-like skin and superhuman strength and yellow eyes. This is the story. You know, he was a truck driver for the Barlow Chemical Company. And then, you know, there was a terrible accident. Now he has these powers. People watching the video, y'all gonna be like, well, why is that person honking? Because clearly it's people behind them. So it's like, you know how people just don't move? You know what I'm saying? You see a whole chemical truck just go up in chemicals and you just gonna sit there and be on your phone and sit there like, man, I'm late. Back up. Let me tell you something. If I was that truck driver, I'm not getting up there and checking out the leakage. Once I see that there's something coming off the top, I'm calling the Chernobyl-suited people to come fix that shit. I'm not getting up there doing nothing. I'm not re-screwing. I'm not re-tightening with the toxic chemicals. Then I'm gonna be like that toxic waste dude in RoboCop. Remember? Remember that dude that fell in the toxic waste at the end? He was like, oh, hell no, man. That scene haunted my reality for mad long. Then they ran him over and he just splattered. I'm talking about this guy. Hell no, man. Call the Chernobyl-suited individuals to come fix this shit. I'll be on the side of the road watching. That's it. Y'all don't pay me enough for this.
Hey, yo, if they're law enforcement, hey, yo, hold on. Hey, my boy, if they're law enforcement officers, hey, check this out, homie. If they're law enforcement officers, why aren't they identifying their face,
You're not going to do anything. He's obviously a foreigner and you didn't even do anything about it. They stole his son. And he wouldn't even let it talk about they not
Are you okay, bro? What happened?
I don't know. They kept coming in. Back up.
Homie, you don't gotta touch me, bro. Don't touch me, bro.
Oh my God. What they doing? They had to do this. And they don't show any
What? You don't gotta touch me, bro.
That's why I said step back.
Actually been to the Bohemian Grove. I never signed anything. No women can work there still.
Yeah.
Secret of the whole thing. And
Yeah.
hopefully I don't get in trouble for this. It was all... They worship the owl god. So there's a big lake. There's a big concrete owl. Are they actually sacrificing people? I don't know. Every camp is like a building complex. There's a camp for the president. Everything's made out of redwood, which is like so illegal. There's like one cabin and they were like, this is where like the Manhattan Project occurred. They made sure our phones were in our glove boxes. Drink like 200-year-old absinthe. I know girls aren't allowed in this camp, right? Mm-hmm. Pink had her signature above the toilet.
I got so many questions.
There's something really suspicious about the wildfires. I checked on the map. It's not just Canada. It's like Canada and the US, almost half the globe, has got the wildfires. And they all started at the same time.
No mames, cabrón.
No digas mamadas, güey.
Please tell me you've seen this video coming out of Atlanta. So apparently at a club in Atlanta, some really weird shit happened. So this guy up here in the doorframe opened the door to the club and stood there for like 30 minutes to the point where the DJ cut off the music and everything. Everybody was just kind of staring at him and they all said that he was really dirty. He almost looked like a zombie. And then this happens. He starts screaming at the top of his lungs and runs into the crowd of people. The security obviously tackled him, took him out of the club, and called the police. And so many people are swearing up and down that this guy is a zombie. And there has been a lot of claims of that from a lot of southern states here recently. like that woman who was eating a deer on the side of the road. Now, I'm not saying that that's what this is, but this guy looks creepy as hell, and he was acting really out of pocket. If you're watching this and you witnessed this yourself, you were at this club, please let me know what happened. What do you guys think? Let me know.
30 minutes straight. Bro, I'm not partying for no 30 minutes extra when I see something like that. As soon as he opened the door, bro, I'm already eyes on him and we out. What we doing for 30 minutes? Why he's... Y'all let me know y'all thoughts, bro. I mean, at that point, if this shit was to infect anybody that was watching it for 30 minutes, I don't want to say you deserve it, but damn it, what else? This finna take it, bro.
Have you ever heard the craziest conspiracy theory about Doja Cat? One that's even worse than anything you've already heard about her? The theory is that she joined the Illuminati. And the worst part? It almost feels like she wants everyone to know. Over the past few years, we've seen Doja Cat's image shift towards something much darker. But everything was basically confirmed when she threw her birthday party with an Illuminati theme. For her 27th birthday, she turned the party into what looked like an Illuminati ritual meeting, barely hidden from the public. There were symbols like this on the cake. But the most disturbing part is that the party was inspired by the movie Eyes Wide Shut. And that movie is literally about an elite secret society where people are offered to the devil. That night, major Hollywood elites, celebrities, and even powerful figures showed up dressed like this. And the most terrifying outfit of all was Doja Cat's. She was dressed exactly like the woman in the movie who, spoiler alert, gets exploited and killed by the group. Then the very next day, she appeared with a black eye drawn on her face, which many people say is a sign of joining the infamous Purple Eye Club. This always seems to happen when celebrities suddenly appear with a black eye. All the signs are there for people who believe she sold her soul and was initiated. And honestly, I don't even know what to think anymore. This is getting really strange.
What's up, man? You called? How do you like being rich and famous? See, I told you all you had to do was give me your mom and I would give you the keys to Hollywood. Now you're on top of the world. How does it feel? It's not enough. Well, excuse me. You can't take out a second mortgage on your soul. That's not how it works. I already got your soul. Tell you what, you got any kids? Not yet, huh? Well, I want your firstborn son. You're gonna dedicate him to me at birth. I'm gonna control his life. And I'm gonna change. And you're gonna let me do it. He's gonna work for me. Well, she, once I get involved. And you get to elevate to the next tax bracket. Plus, your family will be so progressive. The brand deals you'll get off of that alone. You know, a lot of these brands work for me anyways. Yeah, this is the same deal I gave to Magic Johnson. He got so rich, they cured his before that was even possible. Only given out nowadays is financial aid. Well, I'm not really supposed to tell you who took the deal, but you'll see him around. I can say I made one man the richest on the planet. Now he acts like he doesn't like his son because he's a girl now. Please. He signed that deal a long time ago. But that's all I'm gonna say. You just gotta put two and two together. So what's up? You down? You sure? Because once we make this deal, there's no going back. The boy is mine. All right, then. The contract will be on your desk at 3 a.m. I'll be in touch. What do you mean, why do I want to do this? Every day we stray further and further from God. My mission.
He ain't telling no lies, though.
I don't know who it is, and I don't know why. But somebody is telling a lie. You're trying to tell me that Tartaria was the name given by Europeans for an unknown region? Come on, brother. That don't even make no sense. It's in Europe. So let me see if I got this straight. You're trying to say that this was an unknown region to Europeans, even though it's in Europe. That you knew where China was, India, Germany, France, but you didn't know what was going on in this region, so you named it Tartaria. So from the Middle Ages right up to the 20th century, you didn't know what was going on in Tartaria. What in tarnations is going on? The 20th century? You mean the end of the last reset? Come on, bruv. 1901 is when you figured it out. I'm sorry, brother. I'm not buying it.
I don't think none of us are.
So now the government is trying to play God. They trying to make daylight savings permanent. If they pass this bill, it's going to f our body. Our whole rhythm will be thrown off. But I want people to understand something. This is not the first time they did this. When I was young, we had the warm street lights. And out of nowhere, we have the white cool lights. This might look harmless, but not. It changed everything. So when I heard them speak about making daylight savings permanent, I wasn't shocked. I was more shocked that they told us. You know how they say a broken clock is right 2 times a day? But if time really exists, who was the first person to tell someone what time it is? Everything is dealing with rhythm. But they are not really concerned about that. They are more worried about, will it be daylight saving times or will it be standard time? And this is really important. No more changing your clocks. They did studies, of course. And many people find switching clocks every spring and fall can be disruptive. Really? You know what I found where how 1 hour go back or 1 hour go up, but it seemed like it's really a 10-hour difference? I mean, how can 1 hour make it darker 3 hours early? I don't know. But this is their theory. You will get better sleep, there will be less injuries at work, less traffic crashes, and it's going to help our heart. Look, check this out. The sun will set later year round, giving people more daylight after work, school, exercise, shopping, outdoor activities. Shopping? Potential economic benefits. Yeah. It's all about the money. Keep restaurants open. Keep business open so we can spend, and get less sleep. We will have darker winter mornings, I guess, school safety and mixed health opinions. I have a question for you. How many people remember we had the warm street lights and everything felt safer? We felt more healthy. But when they brought in the white street lights, things just felt more robotic. It made shit feel more cold. Well, they're trying to do the same thing with the sun and the moon. The warm street light represents the sun. The cool street light represents the moon. Sometimes I even wonder, is our sun still real? My theory is this. They don't want us to sleep. They want us to stay up longer and longer so we could burn ourselves out. You know, the only way you can recharge your physical body is by getting sleep. So if they change the time, it fuck up our rhythm. But once again, this is my question. If time really exists, who was the first person to actually tell someone what time it is?
Who with them? Who against them?
For San Diego, California residents today, if you're in San Diego, California, you might not want to get into the water at the beach. We're hearing today that Tijuana, Mexico, has released 100 metric tons, 100 billion metric tons of doo-doo water into the ocean. Enough doo-doo water that NASA issued a warning saying they can see it from space. So if you're anywhere near San Diego and you're thinking about getting into the beach or going into the ocean, you might not want to do that for the next, I don't know how long, but the residents out there are pretty upset. The ones who have the mansions and things of that nature, they're pretty upset that they're walking outside of their homes, looking onto that beach and seeing metric tons of doo-doo water. So be careful, and I'm out.
There's always something in this country.
Wait, baby, tell them what you just told me.
That capitalism and slavery are so intertwined still that we still out here describing what fields we work in.
That is about to ruffle feathers, and it's gonna be so many people that's gonna have a comeback on why she's wrong. That's crazy. I gotta agree with her, bro. I gotta agree with her. Damn. To those who did accept that, I know it didn't feel good because it didn't feel good to me either. But hey, truth be uncomfortable sometimes, bro. It is what it is.
If you live anywhere in this area in the United States, you're smoking cigarettes. All of this smoke is coming in from Canada. The wildfires is so damn bad in Canada. It's like the whole Canada is on fire. Just from the smoke alone. Look at this shit. That's the equivalent of you smoking 50 times, 40 times, 28. That's crazy, fool. So you got people that never smoked a cigarette a day in their life. Now catching that shit by the fall. Fuck going on, Canada? Get that shit together, bruh. The crazy part is I don't even smoke cigarettes. And I'm not in the clear either. Where I'm at, we feeling this shit too, and it's only getting worse.
Okay, y'all need to hurry up.
Shit like this don't even sit right with me. If I see fire like this, bro, I'm not recording. Look, they enjoying this shit too much.
Well, Jody, can you hear us?
It could have been their last second on Earth. You about to have several states looking like the sky and Mars, fool. Y'all, if I was y'all, and you in these states, especially the upper states, don't go outside, bruh. The air quality is
Zay Reacts, one of my favorite creators ever.
Morbid Facts, Part 1010. Kimbo Slice rose from viral backyard street fights to become one of the most recognizable names in combat sports, turning his YouTube fame into careers in MMA, boxing, and the UFC. But just months after his final fight, he was rushed to a Florida hospital, suffering from severe abdominal pain, nausea, and shortness of breath. Doctors discovered his body was completely shutting down. He was in advanced congestive heart failure, his kidneys had failed bad enough to require dialysis, and a mass had been found on his liver. Although no official cause was announced for why his health had deteriorated so rapidly, he was placed on the waiting list for an emergency heart transplant. Just 3 days after being admitted, Kimbo died at the age of 42, leaving behind 6 children. After becoming an international superstar with her 1990 hit Nothing Compares to You, Sinead O'Connor's career became overshadowed by controversy following her infamous 1992 appearance on Saturday Night Live, where she tore up a photo of Pope John Paul II to protest child abuse within the Catholic Church. She was widely criticized at the time, and the backlash permanently damaged her career. Over the following decades, she spoke openly about living with mental illness, struggled with periods of severe depression, and faced repeated personal hardships. In 2022, her 17-year-old son died for going missing, a tragedy she described as completely devastating. Just over a year later, in 2023, O'Connor was found dead in her London apartment at the age of 56. A coroner later determined she had died of natural causes.
They just did another recall. Now we can't eat bread. Yes, bread. Over 735,000 packages of Pillsbury bread rolls recall over glass. Why the f would there be glass inside of this Pillsbury bread? How many people was eating glass before they did this recall? So let's get this straight. We can't eat bread because of the glass. We can't eat fruit. We can't eat the vegetables because of the parasites. We can't eat cheese because it gives people E. coli. So, what do we eat? Do we eat the air? Do we fast? But I'm really curious about how many people was eating glass. You know what's dangerous? You know they passed a law where they don't have to tell you everything they're putting inside of your food. But how many people actually go to the store and read the ingredient list? The nutritional facts? Not a lot of people. So right now, I'm just sitting back waiting for them to say, you can't eat meat. You can't eat vegan food. But you know what you can eat? This lab-grown meat. Yeah, I think that's what they're working on. You know we live in a scary-ass population, right? Whatever the media say, people just shrink up. If they say never eat food again, people will listen. If they say eat this lab-grown meat, there's no parasites. There's no glass in it. People really will eat that shit. Hypnosis. Every time they come on and say, don't eat this, it's contaminated, it got parasites in it, I sit back and say, people, wake up. Just wake up. Learn how to bake your own bread. Learn how to crop and grow your own fruits and vegetables. If you eat fish, get a fishing rod. Get some bait. Learn how to fish. What they call food is really junk food. This junk food activate your junk DNA. But if anyone ate this Pillsbury shit, please go get checked out, because having glass in your body is not cool.
Shit is all a game for them,
You
bro.
know what those say? It says pyramids and ziggurats. Yeah. How many words do you know sound like ziggurat?
Only one.
Only one.
Cigarette.
Isn't that fascinating?
Interesting.
Now look at that. Those pyramids and those ziggurats are where they were sacrificing people.
Wow.
That's a human sacrificial portal. Look at all the cigarette companies, bro. Why do you think the old Marlboro logo emphasizes the A? See the pyramid?
Wow.
That's what they are doing. It's killed a human, sacrifice their blood at the top of the ziggurat or the pyramid, drain the blood, offer it to the demon god, eat the flesh on the bottom left, and then the bottom right, gain sacred knowledge.
Wow.
That's what that is. See the roly paper right there? What is that called? Why do you think they call it that? That's the roly paper that you roll cigarettes and weed in. It's called zigzag paper.
Wow.
Zigzag because of the ziggurat. That's where we get the word ziggurat. And then look, skull, and then pyramid. Look, scroll over. It says pyramid. Look, Kingston, pyramid. Salem is Jerusalem, whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Petra is also a place where there was structures. Cool is the ancient derivation for ghoul. Keep going over. Misty are the mystics that ran the pyramids.
Wow.
Corso, again, pyramid. Go down. You can see this one. Black, again, pyramid. Kingston, Parliament, pyramid. They're all pyramids.
Yeah.
Scroll up, scroll up. Look at that. It ain't about the camel, bro. It's about the pyramids in the background.
Wow. Yeah, I see that right here.
Look at the Marlboro logo. The pack even opens up the top of the pack, and you lift off the top of the pyramid, just the to show the uncompleted Tower of Babel.
So then are cigarettes basically like a mass human sacrifice ritual?
Yes, absolutely.
Interesting.
If you're smoking cigarettes, you're a burned offering.
That's about to ruffle feathers, because I know some people ain't in here.
Check it out, family. Just imagine you checking on your child and you see this come across on the cam. Yeah. And shout out to that baby, the child, because I would have did the same thing too. Skedaddle. I'm not playing no games. Whatever that was that just walked past casually, like it lives there, it might as well pay some rent. But anyway, this is some scary shit. And always keep your eyes on your child. Always monitor them. You never know. On front of grave, shit is crazy.
Shit is crazy, bro.
You guys talk about what's happening in GTA 6?
Oh, how there's like real money being involved?
Yeah, and also the game will remember what you do.
What do you mean?
So like, say you rob a bank, right? That bank will be closed on the duration of your story, and people will know you, and people will react different to you now. So, oh, you're a robber, what the hell? Because you just robbed that bank. It'll do its own thing like real life. So I know that for sure once that comes out, we're in a simulation because we can't differentiate between a video game and life no more.
Because it reacts just like how regular people react. Like NPCs become just real people.
Yes, everything that you do from the beginning to the end will react how your player will react. So if you're an aggressive player, people will treat you like
See, the scariest part about this is because eventually there will be a game just like that, just like life.
Yo, somebody's been lying, but we're about to get to the bottom of it. There's nothing slick to a can of oil. Watch this. Hell. Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. The name formerly given to a place under the exchequer chamber where the king's debtors were confined. The rabbit hole is deep because Merriam-Webster Online defines exchequer as, pay attention, exchequer, a department or office of state in medieval England charged with the collection and management of the royal revenue and judicial determination of all revenue causes. And in respects to truth being stranger than fiction, it also defines exchequer as the national banking account of this realm. Because other realms do exist. So I am forced to wonder, what banking accounts do the other realms use? What currency? Is their currency just like ours? What other realms exist? How many realms? One thing I do know is the king is God, Jesus is a ship, and hell is full of the king's debtors. Matthew 6:12 KJV. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Now let's begin. So we live in a microwave era, and everybody wants everything at the snap of a finger, but I'm gonna need y'all to be patient and watch this video. Alright, let's go.
If I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness and I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old, I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. Discipline emotions, just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who want it until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. What'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing. Paul Harvey. Good day.
Where are the people who own these vehicles? Where are they? They've got tags on them, by the way. But yet, all this time, nobody's come to claim them. You know that the police had to run the tag numbers, etc., to see whose they were. But yet, nobody's ever come to claim them. Maybe they were at the hotel and were swept away by that flood. It's a good possibility. Out here in the foreground, there's other vehicles. There's other vehicles out here. They got tags on them. Why hasn't anybody come to claim them? And you have to assume that they were staying at this hotel. I mean, the hotel's gone, of course, now, but this was the Geneva Hotel, Lake Lure, North Carolina. Swept away by Hurricane Helene. Where are these people at? Now, I've been reading about the state laws in North Carolina and about, vehicles left on other people's property, etc. And then there's other things to consider. But I mean, you got vehicles out here, and by the way, that in the foreground out there, that's an Audi. Those are not cheap. Even if you put that thing out for parts, you could probably get a decent amount of income from it. But nobody's come to claim these vehicles after nearly 2 years. It makes you wonder, how many people were actually swept away by that flood? How many? Because I can tell you one thing right now, if I was alive and I had an Audi, believe me, I'd come back and claim it. Makes you wonder, don't it? What's the real number? What is the real number? of people made unalive because of Hurricane Helene.
Help me. I'm an artist. I'm in trouble. I discovered a restaurant here in Brazil. Now there's an agency of espionage torturing me. My parents were... Can you save me? Please, I'm suffering. But underneath this desperate post, he included his full legal name, contact number, complete address, and the location of the said restaurant, along with its email and a link to its website. On its own, something like this would be easy to dismiss as a troll or a cheap stunt to grab people's attention. But when other users visited the profile, the situation became a lot harder to brush off. His account was filled with nearly identical posts, all repeating the same accusation and begging strangers to help him before it was too late. And in some of them, he even uploaded legal documents belonging to himself and his parents as a desperate attempt to prove that the people in the story were real. From there, the trail spread beyond Instagram. His Facebook account and X profile were filled with the same desperate pleas going back as far as 2018. And according to people who had been following his situation, he had also been directly messaging strangers with the same request for help for almost 2 years. Eventually, some users also found an art account connected to him, where he often posted dark and disturbing drawings with captions that use phrases like "destroy," along with frequent references to the same restaurant.
I got a lot of questions.
I had a patient who was close to passing. She was known for being extremely abusive to her children throughout her life.
Ooh, this one's freaky.
Yes.
I remember reading this one.
To the point none of them wanted anything to do with her, and she had 8 children. A couple of hours before she passed, she kept telling me that there was a man in her room and that I couldn't let him take her. I kept assuring her there was no one in the room, although she was persistent that he was going to take her somewhere really bad. She then proceeded to pray and ask forgiveness for over an hour. The last time I went and checked on her before my shift ended, she grabbed my hand so tight, and she said she knew she was going to hell. I looked down and realized she had several bruises on her chest right by her heart. She said, "He keeps pushing me downwards. Don't let him take me there." She passed an hour later, and the entire wing lost power. I have never questioned our maker ever again.
Oh, that gives me goosebumps.
I know, that was one of the ones I read last night, and I was like, oh, I should not do this
that one's
right now.
so scary. Imagine being so terrible that you just know you're going to hell.
Damn, at least try to pray on it. Repent.
I really thought I would never say this, but I actually do believe in the Trisha Paytas conspiracy theory that every single time she gives birth, someone important dies. It just all adds up to me. First baby, Queen Elizabeth is. Second baby, Pope Francis is. Third baby, no less than 10 minutes after the news of that baby drops, Ozzy Osbourne is dead. That's insane. This implies something very crucial. It implies 2 things that are crucial. Now bear with me. 1, Ozzy Osbourne is on the same level of importance as Queen Elizabeth and Pope Francis. I believe in that. Father of heavy metal, ate a bat on stage. What else can you say about him? GOAT. Secondly, and this is crucial, and I don't see anyone talking about this, she had her second baby in April, less than 9 months ago. I don't know what all goes on down there, but I know you need more time than that. She had a surrogate for her third, so she didn't give birth. This implies it's not the act of her birthing a child that kills. It's the seed. The seed kills. Anyway, yeah, so...
One of my favorite conspiracy theories ever is the Paul is dead conspiracy. Paul McCartney in 1966 was in a car accident, died, and then the record executives swapped him with a lookalike that they had reconstructive plastic surgery on. God. The Beatles, following that period of time, had so much guilt and trauma from it that they hid clues and everything for it. People always point to the Abbey Road album art, and they say, this is the Beatles trying to tell you what happened because Paul is in a suit, he's got no shoes on, he's the corpse. John is in all white, he's Jesus.
They're just looking for the confirmation bias of their existing belief.
Who does believe in that conspiracy?
Was Taylor Swift's wedding an Illuminati ritual? It's the latest celebrity event to get pulled into one of the internet's oldest conspiracy theories, and it's not hard to see why. It certainly didn't seem like a typical wedding by any stretch of the imagination. The wedding had over 1,000 guests, many of them millionaires, billionaires, and celebrities, with Adam Sandler officiating. One guest told the Mirror US they didn't even know Taylor or Travis, and that it felt like a, quote, corporate charity event. Meanwhile, non-celebrities were reportedly buying and selling trash collected outside of the wedding. Was this an Illuminati humiliation humiliation ritual or just a humiliating indictment of celebrity culture. Adding to the speculation, TMZ reported heavy security and unusual activity at Taylor's Rhode Island mansion days before the Madison Square Garden wedding. A video they obtained showed several people on a balcony, 3 wearing black robes and 1 wearing white. TMZ said it didn't know whether it was a wedding or something else. Even Dolly Parton was accused of using an Illuminati hand signal in a thank you video to Taylor and Travis for donating to her charity as part of their wedding celebration.
So, hey, when you have your firstborn, can I have it?
And online, some pointed to the reported death of Taylor Swift's former teacher and close friend on the day of the wedding, recalling a common claim in Illuminati lore that certain successes require the sacrifice of someone close to the celebrity. The idea that the Illuminati performs secret rituals actually predates the internet by centuries. The Illuminati was a real group founded in Bavaria in 1776 and outlawed shortly thereafter. But many believe it still lives on today and was responsible for the French Revolution, the creation of the United States, the assassination of Lincoln, and more. In its modern form, it claims that powerful elites like billionaires, politicians, and celebrities use highly publicized events as rituals to maintain power and control over society. Many versions of this theory claim that when millions of people watch the same event and share a collective emotional experience, that collective attention has power that can be harnessed and used. Believers argue that certain symbols like the all-seeing eye, pyramids, certain colors, and hand gestures like the one Dolly Parton was accused of making are either messages to insiders or subconscious cues for the public. Either way, you don't need to believe celebrities are performing occult rituals to recognize that media events like these help the elites.
When the footage was slowed down even further, the effect became even more unsettling. The creature seemed to flicker in and out of visibility, almost as if it wasn't fully there the entire time. For skeptics, the explanation was simple: video compression, signal distortion, or digital artifacting caused by the chaotic conditions of live broadcasting during a disaster. But for others, the explanation went in a very different direction. Some viewers immediately connected the sighting to a well-known cryptid known as the Mothman, a creature first reported in West Virginia in 1966, where multiple witnesses claimed to have seen a large, winged figure with glowing eyes. Over the following year, sightings continued until December 14th, 1967, when...
How desperate do you gotta be to ride through a flood like this right here? I absolutely know that water got in your truck. Your truck gonna be stinking.
Nah, last clip I thought of Mothman too. I did.
You want to know what's wrong with the world? Look at all these hundreds of thousands of people at a store just acting like everything is normal, although there's smoke everywhere. The sun is being blocked. We're inhaling toxins. Everybody just acting like everything is normal. Nobody's rushing. Nobody's coming together. Humans aren't saying, hey, what's wrong? Even though it smells like straight plastic out here, everybody's just acting like everything's just normal, when nothing is normal at all. Look at the sun right there.
I really feel like they got us too occupied, too divided, and too distracted. Reason why people ain't asking questions because they got other questions for other shit that they going through on a regular basis. How they gonna make their rent? How they gonna make their bills? How they gonna get groceries? Why they gotta go to work? How they gonna keep their mind up when whatever they gotta face when they get to work? How they gonna keep up with the gas? Just a whole lot of shit, bro. On top of the other distractions, whether we, entertainment, shit that it's a whole lot of things like that. So I feel like that's why. And divided, bro. It's literally that simple. We not all the way put together. We not all one. We all divided. I mean, we might come together, we might be cool here at the collective, but bro, you gotta think about, there's billions of other people. There's only 170-something thousand people here with us. You know what I mean? So the shit gonna be a little bit harder with the actual world. And when we leave here, it's still real world shit people gotta deal with. See what I mean? So that's my 2 cents. What's y'all thoughts? I think you got some dummies too.
I don't really trust governments, and I know that a lot of things are self-serving, so I feel like either way, we're gonna go in a direction where it's gonna track us and it's gonna find us no matter what.
Some neighbors...
I think that's good, I think that's the answer. Words get you so far, we gotta start putting hands and stuff. Prayers or people, flock specifically.
last part we can't add, but that's kind of crazy they switched that.
What we fall in love with most are eyes. Because you don't see anybody falling in love with anything that doesn't have eyes. Think
That's
about
true.
it. And in Asia, they say eyes are the gateway to the soul.
I believe that because I saw something saying like, why do we love dogs so much? Like, why do we connect? Why do we think they're so cute? And it's because their eyes are like the most human in the sense that the whites of their eyes is very visible like human beings. So that's why we kind of like sympathize and connect with them so much.
It shows so much emotion.
Their eyes do.
Oh my god, wait. You know what happened recently? Literally yesterday.
What?
So we were having a fam jam. We had my uncle's newborn baby. She's not newborn, sorry. She's like maybe a year or two old.
Aw.
She can start talking. She can speak a little bit. She said, oh look, Diego, my dog died. Diego died. And she doesn't even know the names of the dogs. But she said, Diego, Diego. She's pointing to the corner. Django, my other dog, is on the other side. It's like she saw Diego's spirit or something.
She did. She definitely did.
My sister's like, what the heck?
What the heck?
Yeah.
Babies, they see. Toddlers, they see.
Look at everyone filming, man.
Yo! Get him out!
I don't never believe that clip. I always think they clip it to make it seem.
Sensibly accept that the Sphinx is just 4,500 years old. The ancient Egyptians were there, but I believe they found the Sphinx already created and already heavily eroded, and that they then recarved its head into the head of a pharaoh, and that head is way too small in relation to the body. That makes sense if it was a heavily eroded lion head, which was then later cut down into the head of a pharaoh. The geology speaks to the original Sphinx being more than 12,000 years old. You see it there.
Right.
Those deep vertical fissures are classic weathering produced by rainfall pouring over the edge of that. The data says the Sphinx is 12,000 plus years old. There should be a huge question mark over the Sphinx.
So this is what really happens with Peter, Amy, Kanye. What we do on our way to a Vogue event, ribs and french fries. Yeah. So this is...
Y'all vision me holding somebody's food, record label executives' food while they eat. Can y'all picture that? Let me know. Look, my mom's, my whole family get on my ass. They'd be like, bro, what is you doing? For what? Why? We didn't raise you to be like that. Yeah. It is what it is, bro.
I don't really know what I did with this. All right, Bohemian Grove, one of my favorite conspiracies. If you love conspiracies, you probably know about Bohemian Grove, but if you don't, I'm gonna give the full rundown, and it starts with the Bohemian Club. This one, more than any other one, warrants a huge disclaimer that this is all alleged and for fun. I'm wearing a tinfoil hat. I got all of this online. Please come to your own opinions, conclusions. This is just for fun, for entertainment purposes only. That being said, I'm gonna go through all the available information to the public. The Bohemian Club is 150 years old. It's very secretive, very exclusive, so much so that now it's viewed as a secret society. Its members meet every year, men only, and these members have included CEOs, politicians, business leaders, the most powerful people, artists, like all of those people. People who are shown to have significant influence over the economy, shape of the world, social climate. You can't just be in the Bohemian Club, okay? I'm gonna read down the list that I made of qualifications that you have to have. Remember, strictly men only. Okay, membership reportedly requires a $25,000 initiation fee plus thousands annually to stay in the club. It became so exclusive that membership is by invitation, or you have to be referred by someone who's already in the club. Reported waitlist, is 20 to 30 years. Yeah, there's a couple thousand people in this club. I want to say 4,000, but I forget. If you somehow, by some miracle, make your way into the club, you have the chance to go to Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove is a private retreat owned by the club in the middle of a redwood forest in Northern California. It takes place for 2 weeks every summer, kind of like a summer camp. Actually, exactly like a summer camp, except replace the kids with like super corrupt people. It's publicly stated that these men just gather here as a private, leisurely getaway. Many theorists, though, speculate that much more happens beyond what you can see based on the actual type of people who are attending it. Turned from a club and retreat of creatives, people who like philosophy, discussions, to a meeting of the most powerful people in the world. I'm gonna read this in a list too. Members and guests have reportedly included people like Richard Nixon, George Bush Sr. and Jr., Clint Eastwood, Jimmy Carter, Mark Twain, and Bing Crosby, among many others. Every Republican U.S. president since 1923 has reportedly visited the Grove. May not have been in the club, but has visited the Grove. That's low-key so weird, among obviously like Democratic politicians as well. Grove itself is obviously a privately owned campground, and I want to say it's like 3,000 acres of just land in the middle of a redwood forest. And if you don't know, redwood trees are very, very tall, one of the tallest trees, I think maybe if not the tallest trees. So it's the perfect...
I don't think we all understand the full scope of what's actually happening with CERN. It's a particle accelerator, yes, like the one from The Flash, except it didn't explode and give us all fucking superpowers. No, instead, we're all arguing over whether or not Chick-fil-A has a fucking K in it or not, or if Joel Osteen, this guy right here on the internet, don't know who the fuck that is, has been Joel Osteen the entire time and not Joel Olstein like we all remember. Like, this shit is so fucking lame. We have a particle accelerator that makes us argue about who would win the spelling bee.
Bro, why do I keep seeing these Folk Valley Park videos on my For You page? If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up the words Folk Valley Park and you will see the most disturbing videos on this app right now. It's basically just videos of people getting really bad injuries, and when the injury takes place, they up the brightness so that, you know, it blurs it. But, you know, when you watch these videos, you can tell that something really bad happens, and they're just showing these, like, really awful videos on TikTok. For example, one of the videos that I saw was someone doing, like, a trick shot on a bicycle, and they just landed into a rock, and you can see their whole body just, like, discombobulate. But since the brightness showed up, you don't actually see, like, all the gore or all the bad stuff that TikTok would take down. They just like show the crash with some like really creepy music in the background. It's kind of disturbing to see, so if you're going to search this, I'd just beware, because, you know, you might be seeing something that might not be something that you want to see. So yeah, just beware.
It's like the TV show Scarred. If y'all never watched it, I mean, I got a thrill out of it when I used to watch it as a kid. I used to watch with my cousins. Kind of the shit we watch now, like, well, we can't post it, but I mean, it's the shit that I do come across still to this day. Skateboarder, you be skateboarding, riding their bikes, doing all types of tricks and stuff like that, and they break stuff and you can see the actual break. It was crazy. I think it came on ESPN or MTV. It came on one of them. That's what that Folk Valley Park, that's what that is, because I seen it, and somebody was on a bike, a skateboarder. He fell and broke his whole wrist. Crazy shit.
Meanwhile, I show you what the deer and the rabbits and the squirrels and the birds in my neighborhood will not eat. This is organic carrots that have been out here for 4 days. As you can see, there's piles of sunflower seeds, which they eat every single day. That's parsley, organic parsley. And here's celery that's been out here for at least 2 days. And here is haricot vert French style organic beans. These are all from that store, starts with a K. The animals won't eat this shit. Now, I've got apples out here that I bought from Aldi, and they ate those, no problem. And I had some organic salad mix that I picked up from a little market here in Bloomington that's all farmer stand, and they ate that, no problem. Folks, there's something majorly wrong with our food source. When hungry animals won't eat this shit. Now, I've actually seen the deer come up and nibble on the celery and drop it. So, I don't know. And by the way, this celery was in my crisper for a month, and it's been out here for a few days. And look at it. It's like the stuff doesn't go bad. I mean, look at that. It looks just like I got it off the grocery store shelf. Nothing is molding. Nothing is going bad anymore. We got to rethink our food source.
We got to talk about things that weren't meant to be horror movies or horror TV shows that actually was nightmare fuel. Sit comfy couch. I'm not gonna lie. This right here, Y'all, I might be on the island by myself with this, but Big Comfy Couch is one of the creepiest like series or TV shows out there. Bro, when I was younger, this used to be creepy. Like, especially now that I look back on it as an adult, buddy, the stuff that she used to pull out that couch and just everything that used to happen. Like her just laying on this couch and randomly she sticks her hand in this couch and she'll pull out like a bowling ball or something. And then, bruh, don't get me started on the segment with the clock. Like when she's on the clock dancing or whatever, and it was how she used to word stuff. I'm like, bro, she dang there is a horror villain for real. For like, not a horror villain, but like she's creepy, giving Mr. Sims from Tales from the Hood. Then this little doll right here. She used to have this little doll with her, bro. And it was just how her personality was. Like, am I tripping, y'all? Y'all cannot tell me that Big Comfy Couch was not creepy. Like, go back and watch it. Look, 90s babies, like if y'all go back and watch this, how was we watching this? Like, how was we, this basically like how the Miss Rachel of our era. Like, but she creepier than Miss Rachel. Like, maybe when Miss Rachel, like, once she gets some age and the other kids grow up, they go look back and think Miss Rachel and Blippi and all them creepy. But her, Big Comfy Couch lady, and it's like the couch was swallowing, bro. It's no way. It is no way that I'm by myself on this, y'all. This was nightmare fuel. Like, when you really go back and look at this, creepy.
He not lying. To me, it was the stockings, bro. That came off as like hypnosis, hypnotizing. I don't know. Y'all gotta let me know y'all thoughts. But that shit was creepy as a kid. And I even saw a video on Instagram recently of that, and it was like a nostalgia page. Shit freaked me out then. It's kind of crazy we going across. It came across now. Somebody, you know, the collective, y'all sent this to me and showed me this, and that means y'all agree. So yeah, let me know y'all thoughts. Y'all know we made it to the end of this. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. I know we come up with about 4 videos every smooth 7. This is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Glad to grow, helps Glad to get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you for watching ETV, whatever the case is. I wish was smooth 7. Love y'all Galactic. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Y'all know what it is. We gone.
Ay, yeah, I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know what I'm about. You probably, ay, ain't just.
Ladies, gentlemen.
So I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is.
I have an interesting video for you. This is actually coming out of New Jersey, specifically near the Robert Wood Johnson Hospital. It was captured by a woman and her Uber driver. They captured what they believe to be a massive mothership, spaceship, directly over them. Take a look at this footage.
That shit scared me too. I was like, what the fuck? And I had to remember it was that building.
Yeah, let me think. Holy shit. And yesterday, I just watched it. I was a movie, I was Guardian of Galaxy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like aliens, all that kind of stuff.
Oh my god. I said, ¿por qué? Why close to New York?
Now, there is something I need to clarify. This was captured around December of 2025, and the lights, it's not reflecting from inside the car. These are not overhead lights and a reflection. There was something out there that they have no explanation to this day regarding. Whatever it was, this thing was massive, and it wasn't a building, it wasn't something easily explainable. Take a look at the footage once again, comment below, let us know what you think.
That shit scared me too.
I was like, what the fuck? And I had to remember it was that building.
Yeah, let me think. Holy shit. And yesterday, I just watched it. I was a movie, I was Guardian of the Galaxy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like aliens, all that kind of stuff.
Oh my god. I said, ¿por qué? Why close to New?
She was forced to call the police to search her attic.
Police!
A woman named Mia lives alone with her cats, but lately she's been hearing strange noises at night from time to time. One night, she's woken up by the sounds around 2:30 a.m. and decides to find the source. Watch closely.
Okay. It's fucking 2:30 in the morning, and I'm hearing that same sound again downstairs, and my cats are in the room with me. I keep my door closed. So now I have to go find out what that fucking sound is. Hello? 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 Shit is not funny. I swear to God, I'm losing my fucking mind.
House, but as of
seen the same mysterious figure lurking near the lake. Others describe hearing terrifying screams echoing through the woods after sunset. Before long, the story spread so quickly that hundreds of curious people began driving to Lake Worth at night, hoping to catch a glimpse of this mysterious creature for themselves. Police investigated numerous reports and searched the surrounding woods, but they never found any convincing evidence of the monster. Some believe it was simply a large animal that was misidentified. Others suggested it could have been an escaped primate or just an elaborate hoax. Yet cryptid enthusiasts became convinced that they were dealing with an undisclosed creature, similar to Bigfoot or Goat Man. More than 50 years later, no one has proven exactly what people saw during that strange summer of 1969.
If you don't close your curtains in Appalachia, this just might happen to you. Some people call it folklore, some call it superstition, but a lot of folks in the mountains will tell you that you must close your curtains at night or something like this might be watching you. I'm sure you've heard all the other rules. Don't whistle in the forest, don't reply if something calls your name. But the person in this video broke the golden rule. And, you know, the question I get asked most is, what is the thing watching you outside the window? It's something evil. It's not anything of this world. And once you see it, you'll never unsee it. Check this out. Let me know what you think in the comments.
You know, sometimes it's just better to leave shit alone. A man was hearing noises coming out of the sewer grater outside of his house. So he decided to take a look inside of it and see what was going on because he thought maybe an animal had got stuck in it. And God, I wish it was an animal, because watch this. He lifts it up and there is a face, a human face inside of this sewer thing. Now at first you might be thinking, oh well, is that like a body or something? No, it moves. It like gets away once they make eye contact with each other. Its face is solid gray. Its nose and stuff almost looks bloated. So maybe it's a spirit. It makes you wonder why it was trying to get this man's attention. But like I said at the beginning of the video, sometimes it's best to just leave shit alone. I'd probably never walk by this thing ever again. And honestly, when you look into it, it's a very small area. I don't think somebody could just fit up in there and move that fast. But what do you guys think? Let me know.
I know this is going to sound completely crazy to most of you, but there is hundreds, maybe thousands of people that are now claiming that they've witnessed what they're saying is a thunderbird. Just in case you don't know, a thunderbird is a mythological creature that is a bird with a wingspan of around 10 to 20 feet. According to many accounts from people who have claimed to see this bird, they usually see this bird during a thunderstorm, thus the name Thunderbird, and almost all of these witnesses, including some pilots who were flying at the time, claim that this bird is about twice the size of a medium plane. Most of the reported sightings of this bird come from Pennsylvania and Alaska, and although this may sound like complete nonsense or like people were just being delusional, there's actually some footage of an apparent thunderbird shot from the 1900s. I want you to check it out and let me know if you've ever seen anything like this in your life.
Let's talk about the spectre moose of Maine. Hailing from the wilderness of Maine, it's said that the spectre moose appears with a light gray to white coat, has brown eyes, stands 10 to 15 feet tall, weighs well over a ton, and has a formidable set of antlers. Some witnesses claim that this creature has its own faint glow and has the ability to vanish and walk through solid objects, leading some to believe that this cryptid might be paranormal. Others have said this cryptid is a harbinger of doom, and when it shows up, it means that something bad is about to happen. Skeptics often explain away this cryptid as being simply the case of an extremely rare albino moose. However, since albino animals' eyes are pink and the spectre moose is said to have brown eyes, it seems this creature is an anomaly altogether. Question still remains today as to whether or not this was an abnormally large breed of moose, or if it was an apparition haunting the woods of Maine. What do you think? Comment below.
Well, they're doing it. They're talking about it. They're actually talking about using chicken. Like, remember in Jurassic Park when they use like frog DNA to recreate the they've cracked some sort of code where they can clone dinosaurs with chicken DNA, or like the chicken. And this is a bad idea. And you know, and I know that we can do this. We're already bringing back the dire wolf. I think someone wanted to have like a mammoth steak, and so they recreated that. But they're finding like dinosaur DNA in fossils and stuff. So it's only a matter of time. Watch this next video. All I can say about this next video is it's before the age of AI, but it's probably not real. And then I want to tell you something important afterwards. Here's why bringing back dinosaurs is a bad idea. 5 simple reasons why it would cause chaos and everything. 1, the ecosystem would be destroyed. I mean, look what happened with all the pythons and boa constrictors in the Everglades. It like eats everything else. Dinosaurs would be like super anacondas. Unpredictable and dangerous. That's also people. So, infrastructure disaster. Could you imagine a pterodon like making a nest under a bridge? Like, the infrastructure of our world would collapse. It would be crazy, because they're not going to be afraid of us. They would probably just pick right back up where they were on the evolutionary scale, which was ultra predators. Resource collapse. You know, they're hunting the cows faster than we could if we don't hunt them first. But again, this is all hypothetical. And then just the global instability of it.
So, I don't know if this video is useful, but this is why we shouldn't bring dinosaurs back.
I think you need to hear this.
We wanted to see the brain. So somebody invented the MRI. Wanted to see bones, invented the X-ray. Wanted to see babies in the womb, ultrasound. Hell, we got CAT scans, PET scans, 3D imaging. We got machines that can look through clothes at the airport. We got satellites that can read a license plate from space. They can print organs now. They can do remote surgery with a robot sitting in another state. So would somebody please explain to me why my doctor's got to stick his finger up my ass?
Oh! 又是一个高扫踢到了对方的头部，重点是不会用。哦！这个反击，没开3度，这是双方势均力敌。哦，头断了，头断了。
I'm telling you folks, AI is taking over everything. Now combat sports, are you kidding me?
Wait a second. Did Robbie Williams get caught on the packet over this weekend? Watch this. It drops out of his nose, he picks it off the mic, and then somehow he manages to put it onto his forehead. How do you manage that? That is got to be the most unluckiest situation to ever happen to someone. Let's just watch that one more time. It literally falls out of his nose. And then he picks it up, instantly knew what it was, and somehow puts it straight onto his forehead. Like, hello?
说，
光吃米饭呢？
要不咋说是创意呢？看着啊！
啊！这是啥？
咖喱啊！你看，也不够，还有呢。你吃，你吃。
This man cemented his own head into a microwave. 22-year-old YouTuber Jay Swingler decided to cement his own head inside a microwave for internet views. Jay placed his head into the microwave cavity while his friends poured 7 full bags of quick-setting polyfilla paste around him to create a solid mold. A small plastic tube was his only source of oxygen. That tube was the only thing standing between a viral video and a death scene. What happened next was immediate and catastrophic. The chemical reaction caused the paste to harden and expand far faster than anticipated, crushing the breathing tube and sealing Swingler inside a hardening concrete shell with heat building against his skull and his oxygen rapidly disappearing. His friends spent 90 minutes desperately trying to chisel him free with a screwdriver. They made no meaningful progress. Emergency services were finally called and 5 firefighters arrived and spent a full hour carefully dismantling the microwave, piece by piece, and chiseling through the solid block of hardening filler surrounding his head. Against all odds, Jay Swingler survived and he walked away without permanent physical injury. This might be one of the stupidest things a human being has ever done.
Alright, so this is where we're at with it now. Canada is labeled as something different, that's for sure. Possessions? I think that's what that says. Holy shit, man, this map is fucking huge. British possessions. That's what it says. That's Canada. Holy shit.
What the fuck did I just find? How long has this been in the floor for?
Oh, it's killed them. Oh my god, they died.
This guy is not joking. The individuals that they saw up on this volcano, they did end up losing their lives. The video that you guys just watched shows a volcano by the name of Mount Ducono erupting, with the guy recording in the background stating it's killed them multiple times, and he's absolutely correct. Now, this particular eruption took place on May 8th of 2026 in Indonesia on Halmahera Island. All in all, 3 hikers did end up losing their lives on Mount Ducono this day, and a further 5 were injured. That being said, this was not unexpected. Mount Ducono is a very well-known active volcano. It's essentially never stopped erupting since the 1930s. Because of this, there's a 4-kilometer danger zone around the equator that you're never supposed to enter. Guess what? These hikers entered that restricted zone. So these people being caught in the eruption here and having to be rescued / have their remains taken off the mountain was not unexpected.
We have some crazy things happening in the world right now. A Texas woman was arrested for being disguised as a man to enter an all-male barbecue eating competition, and she won first place. This was an insane pinch point during a cycling race recently where everyone had to funnel into one spot, and I'm surprised no one got hurt. The Russia and Ukraine war has officially lasted longer than World War I did. AI-controlled drones are being tested to search for targets on their own. A judge canceled an entire trial because both of the lawyers used AI. A school shooting survivor is suing an AI weapon detection firm because their system failed to spot the weapon that was brought into the school. A farmer donated his land to the city for a public park, and the city went and sold it to a data center developer for $10 million. This man is a farmer who actually turned down $15 million to build a data center on his land. Fortunately, he had the choice and sold it for $2 million to a farmland trust so that it's protected as agricultural land forever. If you're brave enough, I'm a Dorian, follow me to stay in the loop.
Johnny here. Ask yourself why they would use AI, artificial intelligence, to fake something they could have easily done in person to fake it in the first place. Things are about to get really freaking weird, and I'll show you just how weird in 1 minute. Stop spreading fear! Telling people what's happening right in front of you is spreading fear? Of course, clearly we already knew it was a distraction to begin with, but why are they now using AI to use it? And they've been doing this, by the way. Remember BB and all that other stuff? So they've been doing this, but right now, why are they using it to fake it? And of course, I'm talking about this Tate situation. So shout out to Into Thin Air. He caught this on his Twitter, and you can see right behind me, somehow his foot just disappeared. So it's clearly not authentic footage. But wait, what did I tell y'all when the BB thing was happening? They kept releasing these really weird videos that they are perfecting this AI right under our nose purposefully. They're even throwing obvious things in there so people will call it out, but purposefully, because they want to see what we're gonna fall for and what we won't fall for. Like that other video, if you don't know, what happens is AI videos has microscopic branding in the pixels of a video, and that's how AI can tell if it's AI generated or not. And they're obviously using this and bypassing it. How many fake videos do you think they've made that people thought were real that the AI detector can't even tell? Now, how weird really get Well, say that something just insane out of this world happens in a different country. Who's to say it actually happened in the first place? If pushed in the right way, humankind would go into an apocalyptic war with things we don't even know because we thought that something happened.
Stop spreading fear!
Maybe you're just a fearful person. The only thing I'm scared of is God. If you think people are deceived right now, just wait.
Hey, I'm Brandy, and whenever I'm in Mississippi, I'm kicking it with Kixie 107. Peace.
They got her. They got her. What in the world happened to Brandy? Who the heck are you, lady? This isn't the Brandy that I remember. You go to her IG and you're seeing images like this or this, and she literally looks ageless. But now, this is what we're seeing. What is going on with celebrities around the mouth, around the eyes, the cheekbones? I am seeing tons of them in Hollywood. There's Sharon and Kelly Osbourne. There's Ariana Grande. There's Anna Faris. There's Olivia Wilde. Something is going on. You'll see edited photos from this event where she looks similar to her post on IG, but that is not what we're seeing in real life.
People often ask where I found my voice. But before I found my voice, I found love. And so much of that love lived right here.
There is something about this speech that feels completely off. Not only that, but she is almost completely unrecognizable. And again, it's like overnight. One day they're looking like this, and the next they're looking like this. Same with Olivia Wilde. What is going on?
This dictionary from 1885 holds a shocking secret which is buried from modern dictionaries, and there may be a big reason why that's the case. Now, we've all heard about and surely witnessed firsthand, people think that society is being dumbed down, right? Whether it's the chemicals here and there, whether it's the things people watch on TV, etc. We think, the general consensus is people are being dumbed down. And not only that, but the number of words across human society that we say in a day is shrinking. They say it's about 330 fewer words spoken per day for each year between 2005 and 2019. So there's just words like, when was the last time you said discombobulated or pontificate? Like, there's words you don't use that used to be big words back in the day. Well, it turns out, as human society, quote unquote, progresses, some words just eventually get dropped out of dictionaries to make space for new ones. So if you have an old dictionary from 1885, there are words in there you're not going to find anywhere else, other than books from maybe around the same time period. This is why some people say hang on to your old dictionaries, because the new ones don't have the same content. For example, did you know the ancient, and this is why people think there's a dumbing down thing going on, the ancient Nordics, right, and the ancient South Americans, they had like 10 different words for the color green, because green has so many different shades. So to just call green green, it's like there's shades of green. The Inuit had like 10 different names for ice, or for snow rather. So there's different kinds of snow. There's hard packed snow, there's fluffy snow, there's blowing snow, there's sideways snow, there's upside down snow. So they had all these different words that now we just blanket with the word snow. No pun intended, blanket. But anyways, this is shocking. I do have some old dictionaries I'm going to dig through now and find words that you cannot find today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And also, get reading, because reading exercises that mental muscle there, and you become sharper and more focused and more wise.
I'm sorry to be the guy to tell you this, but the bees are dying. And this is a video from a guy that's found many bees that are dead, and he's living pretty close to a data center. Now, one thing to take note is that data centers consume enormous amounts of electricity, and they generate heat, and they require major land development, and a lot of people have raised concerns about how much of an, impact this is having on the environment, and especially the bees. As we're building more and more of these AI data centers all around the world on a mass scale, are we actually doing enough to understand the impact that it's going to have on our ecosystems around us, right? Because without the bees, I don't know if you know this, but humanity has a serious problem on our hands. Around 3/4 of the world's food crops benefit from animal pollination, and bees are amongst the most important pollinators. Many fruits, vegetables, nuts, oilseed crops, they all would produce far less without the bees. This isn't just about the bees. This is about the future of humanity. And, you know, technology, it can be incredible, but, you know, if we advance without protecting the world and nature around us and everything that keeps us alive, then what are we really achieving? What are we saying, guys? Have you noticed the bees dying in your area? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and obviously, as always, just for entertainment, I'm as fictional as the bees are gonna be, baby.
Okay, hold on a second. I might have just cracked the code to a problem which plagues the vast majority of beekeepers in North America and all over Europe. Now, there's a solution to this problem, which is through a gigantic corporation, which many people want to avoid, and I think I figured out a way to completely do this naturally. So listen, there is a insect, little bug parasite thing called a Varroa mite, and this thing lands on a bee and sucks its juices and dries it out and unalives it, and that's why you have, that's a big reason for colony collapse disorder. Here's me, you didn't know that was me on my beehives, eh? So listen, there's a way to get rid of Varroa mites without using this chemical, which comes from a giant corporation. I'll tell you about it in a second. Now, this little thing here is what the Varroa mite looks like. It's a tiny mite. If you picture how big a bee is, it's about this big with my fingers. This thing is tiny, and it wipes out hives. Now, the way most people treat their hives for Varroa mites is several different brands and compounds from pharmaceutical companies, including Bayer Animal Health, which, if you know about Bayer, I don't know how far, I mean, I just don't really, some people love supporting these companies. I prefer to do it the organic way. So it turns out, now this is the first time I've ever heard of a natural remedy that actually works for Varroa mites. Fastnet Farm posted it. She's from Ireland, and she has this video, all natural Varroa mite treatment for spring and autumn. You take star anise, you grind it up, you sprinkle it in the frames of the brood chamber, which is the brood chamber is where the eggs are laid. The queen lays the eggs for the new bees to be born, to hatch rather. And the Varroa mites fall off of the bee when they smell the oils from star anise. Now, if this gets out there far and wide enough, people aren't going to be buying from Bayer animal products. They're going to be buying star anise from an organic farm in, what, Asia? Where do they grow that stuff, man? And boom, bang, bing, we have an organic way to get rid of this parasite that plagues beehives. I will be doing this year. Go watch her video, Fastnet Farm, is it on YouTube? If you're a beekeeper or you know anyone who's a beekeeper, send them this. This is like a huge game changer. I'm freaking stoked. I've been waiting years to figure out a way to naturally get rid of Varroa mites, and now we found it. And also she keeps, when you watch the video, a sticky tray somehow jimmy-rigged in the bottom of her hive to catch and stick to the fallen Varroa mites, which then they quickly dry out within like a couple days. If they don't have a bee to suck on and you know, parasite from, they will end up perishing quickly. So anyway, she sticks them, or she gets them stuck to this sticky board, and boom, bang, bang, man. So is this freaking cool or what? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
I have more or less stopped posting Bigfoot and Sasquatch videos, mainly because like a few months ago, my AI, I had like an analysis done on all my content, which is like paranormal, demonic, future tech, animals, humor. And then I quote my AI agent says, nobody gives a crap about Bigfoot anymore. So I was like, all right, well then I'll stop posting. But I came across Maximum Fear YT here on TikTok. I follow him, I've been following him for a while, and he has the clearest photo of Bigfoot. I will tell you why I think it's real, and I'll tell you why I don't think it's real. Boom. Put your peepers on that. There's something so real behind the eyes. I personally have not necessarily been interested in Bigfoot lately, just because I'm like, you know, he's real. You know, I don't have to see him. I don't have to meet him. You know, there's a lot of people I haven't met. I've never met Glenn Close, but I know she's real. I don't know why I said Glenn Close. Here's another picture of the not Glenn Close, of the Sasquatch right here. And okay, so here's why there's a possibility that this may not be real, is because this looks very similar in the movie Harry and the Hendersons at the very end when he meets his little like Bigfoot family, when John Lithgow's like slapping him around and like dropping him off in the woods. Harry, he meets his family, and his family's sitting there waiting. And this looks very similar to, this is like some sort of Jim Henson thing. But yeah, this is the clearest picture of Bigfoot, if this is Bigfoot. Most likely this is a movie, but check out Maximum Fear YT to know the full story of how he came across the photo and decide for yourself. Also, did you know that the guy that played Harry in Harry and the Hendersons also played the Predator and a helicopter pilot in the Predator? Freaking love that movie.
The jester is the smartest man in the room, on the surface appearing as a foolish clown, a slave to the king, the butt of every joke, getting mocked and not taken seriously. But the jester was the only one allowed to tell the truth. In formal public settings like the royal court, the jester had free reign to say whatever he wants for the purpose of entertainment. That's his job. Meaning he can talk about anything that was on his mind, things that everyone else was too afraid of voicing. He could mock the king, expose corruption and conspiracies that were very real under the guise of telling a joke. The mask of being the fool gave him the ultimate freedom to speak the truth. Peasants would get thrown to jail. The king would never dare expose corruption to his own subjects. And other high-ranking noblemen, well, they had jobs they wanted to keep. During the Middle Ages, the jester's role was to provide entertainment and lighten the load of the severity of situations, even if it meant revealing the truth behind it. People lower their guard around lightheartedness they don't deem a threat, and become more open with sharing personal insights around them as well. The jester not only could say the most ridiculous and incriminating statements and oftentimes expose the most disturbing truths, but they also had the deepest insider intel from the king and his closest circles due to his harmless external nature. It didn't matter if the jester knew that tax collectors were stealing money from the poor, he's just a jester, no one would believe him. Of course, they didn't have complete immunity, the king could execute them if they ever went too far, but if they played their cards just right, this combination of insider intel and ability to speak freely could influence the course of politics, power, and society as a whole. One such jester made a joke during a drought that taxes were so high even the rain wouldn't come, which the king liked so much he lowered the taxes, and coincidentally it rained shortly after. Or the world famous jester Stanchik in 16th century Poland, known for his sharp wit and deep political insight. He used this privilege of the fool to critique the decisions of the monarchy and gain deep trust with the nobility, serving under the reign of 3 different kings, attaining the unique position as something more of a philosopher critic during the Polish Renaissance, knowing the truth of the world around him, while the king and his cohorts dance and celebrate in the royal ball behind him. But the world actually rewards jesters for taking risks, doing and saying things that everyone else is too afraid to speak up about in exchange for recognition and influence, risking looking stupid and getting mocked by the brainwashed masses for speaking the truth, no matter how ridiculous or harsh it may be. So pretending to be the fool can also be the smartest move on the chessboard to make. Hey, for entertainment purposes only, remember?
If you think that this is a simulation that we're living in, then you need to see this. So it's a guy on here saying that he cracked the code. He found out that we're living in a 300,000 year long experiment run by advanced civilization. And he believes that each and every one of us here has metadata. And we all have specific things that we're here for.